Now, he made it personal when he said, oh, he swung first, so I'm going to swing second, and I'm going to swing last, because I don't let bums disrespect me. Yeah, he was a great player, but I'm the bridge, he's the water. He will always be under me.
I'm disappointed in Scottie because he's burning every bridge. Stop trying to make, take shots at big fish. He's big game hunting. You come out to myself, you come out to Mike, you come out to Phil Jackson. Hey, we know you got a book coming out, but it really just makes you look stupid and silly in the long run, to be honest with you.
Scottie Pippen just shook the whole basketball world by calling Michael Jordan's legacy a straight-up marketing scheme, and Shaquille O'Neal is not letting that slide for a second. During a nationally televised March Madness commercial, Pippen sat there and told millions that Jordan's GOAT status was built on hype, documentaries, and controlled narratives. He didn't just step over the line. He stomped on it and lit it on fire. That one statement instantly put him at odds with every legend who ever touched a basketball. And Shaq, who has already clowned Pippen in public before, came back even louder this time. Then Charles Barkley, one of Jordan's closest friends, jumped in and made things even messier. By the time this all plays out, it becomes clear why so many legends have turned their backs on Pippen. This whole situation didn't come out of nowhere either. It all traces back to that one commercial that set everything off.
Let's set the record straight about Pip. When you think about Pip, you think of what? Second best?
Fact check him, Pip.
When something has been considered second best for so long, we just blindly accept it as gospel.
A decades-long plot built on marketing, social media,
multi-part documentaries.
Pip took that personally.
Yeah, I said it. Pip is a GOAT.
It's Pib.
Don't correct me.
Pippen framed it like some long-term setup, hinting that the last dance, the 6 championships, the 6 finals MVPs, and that perfect finals record were all part of a manufactured story. Think about that for a second. That's him calling the most decorated career in basketball history fake. And then he took it even further. He called himself the GOAT, not top 50, not an all-time great. The GOAT, the same guy who benefited more than anyone from playing alongside Jordan, just flipped the script and said the whole thing was staged and the basketball world was not having it. Now here's where things get really wild. When Shaq got asked directly who the greatest player of all time is, he didn't hesitate at all. No media training, no playing both sides, no safe answer. But what made his response hit different wasn't just the name he gave. It was what he admitted right after.
I think the greatest player is Michael Jordan. He's the only man that had me terrified on the court. Because I went from high school admiring him, college admiring him, and then he's right there in front of you. And all the shit you see on your poster, like he's doing it in real life. Like he came by me so fast one time, I was like, oh shit. Mike, yeah, I was terrified.
Something most players would never dare to say out loud. This is Shaquille O'Neal we're talking about, one of the most dominant forces in sports history, openly admitting that Michael Jordan terrified him on the court. That word carries weight because Shaq is not someone who scares easy, and Jordan is the only player he has ever said that about. Shaq looked at him like he was something beyond human. Meanwhile, Pippen spent nearly a decade playing next to that same guy and somehow walked away thinking it was all just clever marketing. And when the topic of Pippen calling himself the greatest ever came up, Shaq didn't need to yell or go off. His response hit even harder because it was calm, controlled, and straight to the point.
Scottie Pippen, they asked him how he wanted to be remembered, and he said, the greatest ever. You have any thoughts on Pippen saying something like that?
No, I mean, listen, we all think that we're the greatest ever.
Got it.
But if you ask me, how do I want to be remembered? Just want people to say Shaq was a nice guy.
4 championships, 3 straight finals MVPs. That's Shaq's resume, and all he's asking for is to be remembered as a good guy. That contrast right there says everything. Meanwhile, Pippen, who was never the #1 option on any championship team he played on, is now demanding to be called the greatest of all time. That gap between his claim and Shaq's mindset says everything. One man is at peace with what he did, and the other still sounds like he's fighting his own legacy every single day. But Shaq wasn't even close to finished. When the conversation shifted to people questioning Jordan's legacy, he shut the whole debate down with one simple line.
Michael Jordan, 6 and what? Oh. And what is LeBron in the finals? That's all I gotta say.
6 and 0. That's it. No long speech, no breakdown, just facts. That's not marketing. Nah, that's not some social media narrative. That's a man showing up to the biggest stage in basketball 6 different times and winning every single time. And here's what makes Pippen's comments hit even worse. He wasn't watching from the sidelines. He was right there for all 6 of those championship runs. He saw the work, the pressure, the battles up close, And now he's calling it a setup? That's what has people looking at him sideways. Then Shaq took it a step further and brought up the era itself. The same era Pippen seems to be brushing off now.
What era are we playing in? We playing in the big boy era where you can knock people on their ass, or we playing in this little cupcake era now where you can't touch people?
The 90s NBA wasn't soft. It was chaos. Teams like the Detroit Pistons built entire game plans around beating Jordan down every time he touched the ball. It was physical, it was brutal, and it was non-stop. And Jordan didn't complain. He pushed through it and still walked away with 6 rings. Pippen was in those same battles. He took those same hits, felt that same pressure, and fought in those same games. That's why this whole situation feels so wild, because by downplaying it now, he's not just taking shots at Jordan, he's undercutting everything they went through together. Every bruise, every hard-fought win, it all matters. Now this is where things really turned up. Shaq and Pippen didn't just talk through interviews, they went straight at each other. It popped off on Instagram when Shaq said an all-time Lakers squad would beat an all-time Bulls team by 50 points. That alone had people talking, but Pippen fired back quick. And what Shaq said next, it was ice cold.
But I didn't say, hey, at Scottie Pippen, we'll beat you guys by 50. I just said, I'll beat you by 50. Now, he made it personal when he said, oh, he swung first, so I'm going to swing second, and I'm going to swing last, because I don't let bums disrespect me. Yeah, he was a great player, but I'm the bridge, he's the water. He will always be under me.
I am the bridge, he is the water. He will always be under me. That line hit hard, because it wasn't just disrespect, it was calculated. Shaq gave him credit as a great player, and then made it clear that the pecking order isn't changing, ever. And if you look at it closely, that might be what's been bothering Pippen all along. He spent his entire career next to Jordan, in that shadow, thinking retirement might finally separate the two. But instead, that shadow only got bigger over time. And instead of accepting it, he's been pushing back against it, and it's not going his way. And it's not just Shaq either. Dennis Rodman, who played with both of them during those championship years, didn't hesitate when asked about the situation. He saw everything up close, every practice, every game, every moment, and he sided with Jordan immediately.
I think Scott's a little bitter. Mike was more like laid back and say, okay, whatever. But I think they're going to work it out.
Think about that. Rodman, one of the most unpredictable personalities the league has ever seen, looked at this situation and made a clear choice. That tells you how obvious this whole thing looks from the inside. What makes it even louder is Jordan's silence. He hasn't responded. Not in interviews, not online, nowhere. And he doesn't have to, because every major voice in basketball keeps stepping up and defending his legacy for him. That includes Charles Barkley, who goes way back with Jordan. Their friendship has had its ups and downs, but it's real. So when Barkley saw Pippen going after Jordan, Phil Jackson, and others, his reaction wasn't rage, it was disappointment.
I'm disappointed in Scottie because he's burning every bridge. Stop trying to make, take shots at big fish. He's big game hunting. You come after myself, you come after Mike, you come after Phil Jackson. Hey, we know you got a book coming out, but it really just makes you look stupid and silly in the long run, to be honest with you.
That says a lot. Big game hunting. That's how it's being framed now. Pippen calling out the biggest names in basketball history because that's what gets attention today. Not just for what happened on the court, but for who he's calling out now. And the legends in the game can see right through it. Then Stephen A. Smith stepped in, and he brought something nobody else had. He had just spoken directly with Michael Jordan the night before. This wasn't debate show energy. This was first-hand insight from Jordan himself. And then came the moment that pushed everything over the edge. Pippen went on the Patrick Bet-David podcast and with a straight face called himself the greatest of all time. When Stephen A. heard that clip, you could tell it hit a nerve. Something changed instantly. And right there, he started laying it all out.
Scottie Pippen should be ashamed of himself. It seems like Scottie Pippen is blaming Michael Jordan for what has ailed him. And if I sound like I am coming to the defense of Michael Jordan, you damn right I am. You damn right. Because he deserves to be defended in this regard.
Moment by moment, the parts of Pippen's story that don't quite match the image he's trying to push now. The migraine game against Detroit in Game 7 still gets brought up for a reason. Pippen scored just 2 points, shooting 1 for 10, while Jordan dropped 31 points, grabbed 8 rebounds, and dished out 9 assists, and they still got blown out. 2 points from the same man now calling himself the greatest of all time.
Oh my God! Drug test him now! I want tests! Take him into, get a urine sample, get a blood test, drug test him now. How you the best when you wasn't even the best on your own team? How you the best when you weren't even the number one option? If you're the best, why were you calling for Jordan? If you're the best, why were you pouting on the bench when Phil Jackson called Tony Kukoc's number instead of yours? If you the best, why was Bill Cartwright in the locker room crying while excoriating you from abandoning your teammates? You quit. You had a migraine in 87. You had a migraine in a Game 7 against the Pistons. Michael Jordan was left crying on a bus in his daddy's arms.
That moment never disappeared, no matter how much time passes. Then there's the 1994 playoff game against the Knicks. Phil Jackson drew up the final shot for Kukoc, and Pippen refused to go back into the game. Just like that, in the biggest moment of the season, he sat out. Bill Cartwright was reportedly left emotional in the locker room because a teammate didn't stand with the team when it mattered most. That's not a narrative. That's something that happened in front of the world. And no commercial, no branding, no storyline can erase moments like those. These are real events that played out on the court, with millions watching. That's why this conversation goes way beyond stats and highlight reels. Now here's the part people don't like to say out loud, because this is where it stops being just basketball. Scottie Pippen had a career most athletes could only dream of. 6 championships, Hall of Fame status, named one of the top 75 players ever, 2 Olympic gold medals, defensive dominance all through the 90s. That resume speaks loud all by itself. But somehow, it still hasn't felt like enough, because he wasn't seen as the guy. He was standing next to the guy. And that gap, that difference in how they're remembered, has been hanging over everything for decades now. Carmelo Anthony, someone who looked up to Pippen growing up, didn't hide how he felt about all this.
Need to give years where
You could hear it in his voice when he said, "You were part of that, so do not take it away." Now, that's not criticism. That's someone showing respect while asking him not to tear down what he helped build. And then Melo said something that really sticks. A whole generation might grow up only seeing Pippen as someone bitter, instead of remembering the elite defender who slowed down Magic Johnson in the 1991 finals and helped bring Chicago its first title. Not as one half of an all-time great duo, but as someone questioning his own legacy on camera.
favor, man.
That shift in perception is real, because before all this, nobody was doubting where Pippen stood in basketball history. His place was secure, but now, the conversation has changed, and not because of anything new on the court. The tough part, the only person really chipping away at Scottie Pippen's legacy right now is Scottie Pippen himself. And look at who's speaking on it. Shaq called him out. Barkley criticized him. Rodman questioned his mindset. Stephen A. said he should feel embarrassed about how this looks. Carmelo even suggested people stop putting a microphone in front of him. These aren't random opinions online. These are champions, Hall of Famers, people who understand exactly what it takes to reach that level. And they're all reacting to the same thing, a career that had everything, but still feels like it's being rewritten in real time. Scottie Pippen isn't being painted as some villain here. That's not the point. This feels more like a warning story. A man who stood next to greatness for 6 championships, experienced it up close, and instead of holding on to that, has spent years focused on what he didn't have. And that contrast is what makes this whole situation hit so hard. And here's where everything takes an even sharper turn, because this isn't just about old games or past moments anymore. This is about how legacies are shaped in real time, and how quickly they can shift when the story changes. Think about it. For years, Scottie Pippen was locked in as one of the greatest to ever do it. No debate. The ultimate teammate. A defensive monster, a key piece in a dynasty that ruled the 90s. Nobody questioned that. Nobody tried to rewrite it. But now, every new comment, every interview, every headline is slowly changing how people see him. And the wild part is, Michael Jordan hasn't said a single word, not one response, not one interview, nothing. That silence is loud, because while Pippen keeps talking, the rest of the basketball world keeps stepping in, and they're not holding back. Magic Johnson, another legend who knows exactly what greatness looks like, has always kept it respectful. But even that respect has limits when the conversation starts dismissing what actually happened on the court. You can't rewrite 6 championships like they were some kind of scripted story. That doesn't sit right with people who lived through that era. And fans, they're split right down the middle. Some are trying to understand where Pippen is coming from, saying maybe he just wants more credit for what he did. And that's fair to a point. He was a huge part of those teams. But calling the entire run fake, That's where a lot of people draw the line, because if you take that route, you're not just questioning Jordan, you're questioning everybody involved, the coaches, the teammates, the opponents, the entire league at that time. That's why this situation keeps getting bigger instead of fading away. And here's something else people are starting to notice. Every time Pippen speaks on this, the reaction gets stronger, not weaker. More pushback, more criticism, more clips going viral. It's like the more he tries to take control of the narrative, the more it slips out of his hands. Meanwhile, Jordan's legacy, it's not moving at all. If anything, it's getting reinforced. Every legend that steps in to defend it just adds another layer to what people already believed. That's what makes this so one-sided right now. And deep down, that might be the most frustrating part of all this for Pippen, because no matter what he says, no matter how he frames it, the story people remember hasn't changed. 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, 0 losses on the biggest stage. Those numbers don't shift, they don't fade, they don't get rewritten. So now the question isn't just about who was greater or who deserves more credit. It's about how this all ends. Because right now, every new comment is adding more pressure, not less. Does Pippen double down and keep pushing this narrative, or does he find a way to step back and protect the legacy he already built? Because whether people want to admit it or not, that legacy is still there. It's still strong. But the longer this keeps going, the more complicated it becomes. And that's why this situation has everybody watching closely. Because it's not just about basketball anymore. It's about how history remembers you when everything is said and done. And now it all comes down to this. Not stats, not rings, not debates on TV, but legacy. The way people remember you when the noise fades and the story settles. Because right now, Scottie Pippen is at a crossroads. One path protects everything he built, the championships, the respect, the place in history that nobody was ever trying to take away. And the other path, it keeps this tension going, keeps the headlines coming, but slowly chips away at how people see him. And that's the reality here. You can't keep calling one of the most iconic eras in basketball manufactured without people pushing back hard, especially when you were a central part of it. That's what makes this so intense. This isn't coming from the outside, it's coming from inside the dynasty. Meanwhile, Michael Jordan's position hasn't changed at all. No interviews, no responses, no back and forth, just silence. And somehow, that silence keeps winning. Because every time someone speaks up to defend that legacy, it only makes it stronger. And that's what separates this whole situation. One side is talking more and more, trying to reshape the story. The other side isn't saying anything, and the story still stays the same. 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs. A perfect record when it mattered most. Those moments are locked in forever. But for Pippen, this isn't just about numbers. It's about recognition. It's about how much credit he feels he truly deserves. And to be fair, he does deserve a lot of it. Nobody wins 6 titles without an all-time great teammate beside them. But there's a difference between asking for respect and tearing down everything around you to get it. And that line is exactly where this whole situation exploded. Now the entire basketball world is watching to see what happens next. Does this calm down, or does it keep escalating even further? Because one thing is clear, this isn't fading anytime soon. Every interview, every clip, every reaction keeps adding fuel to the conversation. And years from now, people might not just remember the championships. They might remember this moment too, how one of the greatest players ever started questioning the very legacy he helped build. That's why this hits different, because it didn't have to go this way. But now it's here, and everybody has an opinion. So what do you think? Is Pippen being real about how things went down, or is this going too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this debate is not slowing down anytime soon. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for more content like this, and share this video with anyone who's been following this situation. And stay locked in, because if something new drops in this story, you already know we're covering it. See you on the next one.